Lantern Cove, just a quiet New England tourist town. Or so I keep telling you. But no matter how many times I natter on about history, architecture, seafood, or whale tours, the truth remains. Something horrible is happening in Lantern Cove. Years upon years of rituals, subterfuge, of vile actions that should never be spoken of, are all coming at last to their fetid, awful conclusions. 6 high school students have been drawn into this against their wills, and now they are caught in the dream of one Sophie Scott, counselor at Lantern Cove High School, and also something more. Join us now as together we learn just what is going on here in Lantern Cove. And we're going to start with Chris. Chris, or I should say King, you are standing at the back of the gym. It's prom, or at least it's a generalized, inspecific prom. It doesn't exactly line up with your memories of prom, but it's clear that prom is, the intended impression. Standing next to you, facing the same direction, with her arms crossed over her chest, is Sophie Scott. Still looking out over the gym, she speaks up. Your vision from that first day, it was a warning, you see. Nearly all your visions were. It was when your parasites were bonding with you. And for a moment, it gave me an in, a way to touch your minds. As she speaks, the double doors leading outside open up, and in come marching the fish people. This part, at least, is familiar. They form a circle around a central point on the gym floor and begin circling, chanting in grotesque mockeries of human voices. I wanted to warn you about what was going to happen at prom. Frankly, I wanted to scare you away from it. Who in their right minds would go to a prom where there would be chanting monsters? But I didn't know how well my vision would get through. That's why, as Sophie, I insisted on making appointments with you all. I wanted to have time with you and hopefully learn without asking how well my visions came through. I gather they weren't clear at all. A shame.
Chris just kind of takes all this in, and there's not, especially with Sophie not really giving him an in into the conversation, as he's just sort of like barraged by like a lot of information, a lot of just like, what are the implications of what's happening right now? And I think he turns to her.
To be honest, I forgot most of my visions. It came with a sickness. Do I have your parasite to thank for that too?
The sickness was... I think it happened on the joining, but they're not my parasites. In fact, they want to stop me. You met them, I think.
What is it that you want to do?
That is a question for when we're all together. After all, I don't want to repeat myself.
Never a straightforward answer.
If you have any questions about your vision, I'm here to answer them.
What happened to those that this creature touched?
That was their plan coming into fruition, the swapping over from one dimension to another.
They being the parasites.
No, there's too many variables here. Sorry, that was the fish people, you say?
Fish people, deep ones.
Deep one. That's poetic. I like that. Yes, the deep ones. Calvin's people. Yes. That was their plan.
Why Lantern Cove? Why do all of these groups meet here?
This is a point where the stars align. They're right now, well, in about a week, there'll be an alignment of solar bodies that will reach out and point right here at Lantern Cove. And that's when Well, we'll talk more about that later.
I see you are insistent on not giving me actual information.
Promise it's coming. Pinky swear.
Chris does not stick out his pinky. I think he crosses his arms and waits.
Well, just wanted to check in with you. Thank you. I'm going to get to the others now, and then we'll meet back soon.
I look forward to hearing some actual answers for once.
Fair enough. All right, we'll go to Olive, or should I say Beatrice. You are walking through a bog of wet mud. The mud gets deeper with every step, and when you look down on it, there are definitely things moving within. It is cold and damp, and the smell of rotten fish is getting stronger the farther you go. From behind you, a voice. The voice of Sophie Scott. If this seems familiar to you, it's because this is the vision I sent you during the pep rally. I'm able to touch minds, you see, but usually only after frequent contact and preparation. In this case, the bonding that the Fae were doing with you provided me an in for a short time. But to my disappointment, the visions turned out to be unclear. I wanted to warn you about the dangers of the cove, the creatures that emerged there, what they might do to you if you cross their path. In short, I wanted to keep you away from all the danger.
You're a really bad counselor.
I'm just trying to protect my charges.
Yeah, Beatrice Olive is... There's been so much just upheaval and emotion, both from all of everything happening, almost dying, being this weird de facto leader that she didn't want to be, and she still doesn't want to be, and she's mad that she's being forced into this position. So she's just like, good, okay, fine. You failed, obviously. What is the point of you right now?
The point of me right now is giving you information. Right now, I'm telling you about my first attempt at contact that didn't go as planned, and trying to make up for that by explaining it. And then, when we're all together, you'll all have questions that I'll answer, and we'll go from there.
Great. I kind of figured out what my vision was about, but thanks for the confirmation, I guess. Wasn't going to stop us, though.
So I've noticed. Maybe this will change your mind. We'll see. I hope so. All right, I'm gonna get on with the others, and then we'll all meet back.
Great.
Thanks. Bye. Gus, you're walking through an apartment. The place seems familiar, and after a few moments you realize it's Brennan's apartment. More than just memory, the place just feels like him. You look at the door behind which you know Olive was trapped and nearly killed, and you can see the deadliness there. Glancing at other doors gives you the same sense, and you realize that some form of death lies in each. As you go around a corner and spot the foyer, seated in a comfortable-looking armchair, you see Sophie Scott raising a hand to get your attention and to hold you off from speaking for a moment. I know you have many questions, and no doubt many angry things to say, but the answers to the important questions are largely the sorts of things that all of you should hear at once. So I ask you to please hold off until after this so that I can tell everyone the answer. For the moment, what I'm here to say is that this was your vision during the pep rally, or your vision as I intended it to be. The idea being, of course, that you would have this vision, and when you saw Brennan, you would hopefully feel an association and instinctively stay away. But it didn't come through as well as I hoped. He was very dangerous, you know, and I didn't want you, any of you, to be caught in his traps.
He does not speak.
Well, that's what I have.
I think Gus moves as close to her as she lets him. Just, if she's sitting down, I want him to be the tallest thing she has ever seen. And he's going to look down at her. One question.
Ask it.
His voice. Was that you?
That was me.
Fuck you.
And we go to Atticus. Atticus, or should I say Captain Anarchism. You find yourself back under the bleachers. It's dark here and very noisy from the pep rally going on. Looking around in the dim light, there are pairs of eyes all around you. 6 pairs you count. As your vision adjusts to the darkness and you can see more, you see that the eyes belong to the same creatures you saw in the interstice, the ones that called themselves fairies. Their almost human, 2 angular, uncanny valley features strike you, as they did before, as having an unearthly beauty, but they also look hungry, and one of them turns to focus on you. At that moment, Sophie Scott ducks under the bleachers and walks towards you. With the others, I was mostly giving warnings about the future, but your warning was about that moment, about the creatures that were about to bond with you all, to make you their child soldiers. I hope that if you saw how they were wanting to prey on you, then when you learned about them, you would give them the distrust that they deserved. She looks at the creatures with a sadness in her eyes, but it didn't work out that way. My connection was unreliable, and of course you were all distracted by the joining sickness as they bonded with you, so it's no surprise the warning didn't come through well. She shrugs.
I'm gonna fucking kill you. In this dimension, in my dimension, and everywhere else you are, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Well, I hope that's not true. But if it does happen, I still like you.
I'd like you to be fucking dead.
And I see that we're not going to get any good communication here, so I'll move on.
He just gives her the finger as he fades into, or she fades out, or whatever happens.
Freya, or should I say the monster. You are standing in a featureless landscape. Facing you is Sophie Scott. I don't know how much you remember about the vision I gave you during the pep rally. Probably not much, because yours was sort of abstract. I gave most everyone a warning, but in here you can see her cheeks redden a little bit. I suppose I couldn't resist showing something of myself. And then it's as though the angle you're looking at her from shifts, and you're able to see that Sophie Scott is just a sort of appendage, like a hand puppet for something, the form of which stretches through dimensions that you're unable to fathom. A being so alien that to perceive its very existence requires context unavailable to you. Of course, it's an abstraction, she says, and you can see as she speaks that the creature is moving her mouth, squeezing her lungs, imitating human life in a million tiny ways every second. Your sense organs are designed for 3 spatial and 1 temporal dimension, and even in a dream it seems like that's all I have to work with, so an abstraction is all I can give you of myself. But it's nice to be sort of seen, nonetheless. You see, in order to have an anchor in this world, I have to extend part of myself into your frame of reference, thus my human disguise. Only when I say disguise, you think of a facade, and there's no pretense. In order to disguise myself as a human, I have to be a human. I have to be Sophie Scott. And inconveniently, Sophie can't know anything about all this stuff that's really going on, because then people could learn about me, which makes acting behind the scenes very difficult.
Freya punches her.
All right, roll fight.
That's good.
Good. Okay. You punch her in the face. I assume the face?
Yeah.
Okay, you punch her in the face, and her nose starts bleeding. She backs up, holds her nose. I can see that we're not going to have a full conversation right now. So I will move on, and then we'll meet back, and hopefully things will be a little better when we see each other again. She fades out. Clark, or should I say Arachno Guy, you're in the halls of your high school. All around you, the students are, well, the way they are in real life, but maybe a bit worse off. They move about their day with no enthusiasm, no zest, no vitality, as though something had been drained from them. And as you move among them, you can feel that what's draining them is you. Somehow, indirectly, as you enter their presence, you can feel something about you pulling at their energy, taking from them whatever makes them more than just machines going through the motions of life. The door to the administration section opens, and out steps Sophie Scott. This was the warning vision I sent to you during the pep rally. Unfortunately, it didn't all come across. As you can see, it's what's already coming to pass. You see, Clark, the creatures that have bonded with you and given you power, they're parasites. Ever since their universe blended with your own, they've lived among you, visiting humans in dreams or venturing briefly into your reality, feeding as they do on the magic, the glamour, the emotional energy of humans. And every so often they create a changeling by bonding themselves with a human child, as they did with all of you. The changeling is empowered by their dreams, but, well, all that energy has to come from somewhere. It takes a lot of energy to manifest dream abilities, and considerably more to manifest them into your world, and they can't feed off of you, because that would be defeating their purpose. So those around you get drained. Family, friends, classmates, the server you always get at a restaurant, you name it. All food for the creatures that empower you. And I can see by the look on your face that they never told you that. So I want to tell you right now, you aren't to blame. You're a child soldier in a war you never asked for, and that is not on you. I hope you understand that.
What's that war against?
That war would be against me.
And why is that? See, I don't really care. I'm just gonna say this right now. I don't give two shits. My answer to you is, what does my sister have to do with any of this? She's not in the dreams. She's not here. Yet she's affected. I've seen your journal. I saw the drawing.
Your sister is one of the 6.
The 6?
Yes. 6 people in your town with, let's say, more consciousness. You see, it's all very. Have you people figured out yet that your universe is made of consciousness? Is that a thing that you've? No. Consciousness is the fabric of the universe, and these people have more of it, a deeper concentration of it than others. And that is why they are being used by the deep ones to enact their attempt at the destruction of your universe.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't you working with or for the deep ones?
Calvin is Sophie's friend, but they don't talk about those things. I have the same goal, but I'm not one of them. I just sort of came along to do my own thing to help it out, you see, to make sure that it works. Because I don't think that without me, it would have worked. But now, with luck, and especially if I can convince you all to stop what you're doing, it will work.
What?
We'll see that here in a minute. And she fades out.
Before she completely fades out, he's going to try and shoot a web to try and grab her, just in this thought of, that's all I needed to know. And just to kind of get an attack in.
Okay. Yeah, go for it. Do a shoot.
Forget, what's one above superb?
Fantastic.
That's what I got. Fantastic.
Fantastic. All right. Your web goes all around her, binds her up in like a web cocoon, and from inside the cocoon she says, "This didn't go as well as I'd hoped."
You think?
And then you all find yourselves in a movie theater. You are seated in the front row facing the screen, and you even have popcorn and drinks. The projector starts, the screen lights up, and you hear Sophie's voice over the speakers. There's one more thing I need to show you before the questions start. It's the reason I'm here. On the screen before you is a graphic showing what looks like a bunch of blobs of varying sizes and colors, all floating by themselves quietly. Occasionally, another one will appear and take its own place among them all. Imagine a multiverse of various worlds, all existing with their own rules, their own realities, worlds as alien to each other as can be, allowing for variety and coexistence. An ideal arrangement. Then something happens on screen. A new blob appears, but instead of settling into its place, it starts growing. It grows and it grows, getting larger than anything else, and it does not stop. Soon it begins to crowd other blobs, which drift away from it, but as fast as it is growing, they are soon in contact with it. This does not go well for these smaller blobs, these other universes. One manages to attach itself, sort of partially merging with the giant blob, but for the most part, contact means destruction of the smaller universes. Your universe is so vast. It started growing, and it never stopped. It is still growing so very rapidly, and like you humans and your civilizations, it doesn't care what is ruined or destroyed in order for it to continue with its endless growth. There are worlds dying, being destroyed by this monstrous expanse that you live in. One of those worlds is mine. For the sake of my home, my people, their entire existence, for the sake of all other existences everywhere, I was sent here to destroy the destroyer. The screen begins to zoom in on the space outside of and between the universes. There are things swimming there in the nothingness. Difficult to see, but undeniably there, bizarre flashes of tentacle and claw and scale and strange pulsating dimension. But how does one go about destroying a universe? One can weaken it from the inside in small ways, like with the grinder I got Gus to make, or in bigger ways, like with the cunning manipulations that the founding families have put into place. But you can't destroy it that way. To my surprise and relief, when I got here, I found that someone was already working on the very plan I knew needed to be put into place, weakening the fabric of the universe in one spot, at the specific time when an alignment of stars points at that one vulnerable spot, to create a place that both draws the creatures of the outside to it and is vulnerable to them. When they swarm and devour Lantern Cove, it will, with luck, create a tear that they can exploit to tear apart the universe as a whole. Whether your universe will be fully destroyed or merely torn into myriad universes of a saner size, I don't know. There's never been a universe like yours before as far as we know, so I'm operating on hypothesis. Maybe it will be torn into pieces and all the pieces will start growing again like some kind of cancerous starfish and it'll all have been for nothing, but I have to try. The movie screen is reeled up into the ceiling and Sophie Scott steps out. I'm sure you have a lot of questions.
Mark those as popcorn.
and a lot of things to talk amongst yourselves about. Believe it or not, I don't have all the answers. Calvin never talked to me about the details of his family's plans because Sophie wouldn't have understood or believed them. So I only know the broader things. But what I do know, I'll tell you. It's my hope that knowing everything will finally dissuade you from continuing to fight this war that you were drafted so unfairly into. She sits down on the stage.
You're an idiot.
Why do they want us to fight you? If our universe is going to destroy everything else, why would someone want us to not be
They
strong?
have a smaller universe that is bonded onto yours, and they've found a way to exist by being parasites off of your world. So destroying it might destroy theirs.
So they found a way to coexist. So there is a way to coexist. And instead of exploring that, you would rather explore destruction. And rather than us be child soldiers in defending the entire universe that we live in, you would rather us be idle watchers as it is, as the fabric of our reality is undone. You can fucking eat shit and die.
How do we know you're being honest?
Oh, Freya, if I could lie, I would be much better at being human than I am. I have never figured out how you do it.
Yeah, me neither, really.
Can I do a empathy check to see if she's lying right there?
You sure can.
Oh god, I broke even. Captain, anarchisms, empathy is good, so it was good.
With a good, this person, though inimical to human life, seems to be on the level as far as honesty goes.
There are other ways to obscure the truth besides outright lying, and you know that.
Yes, but I've never been good at those either. How do you do it? You communicate things that aren't in your head as real. It doesn't make sense to me. You humans are so strange.
I think it's like acting. You just like pretend that that thing is real, right?
Yes, pretending. What is pretending?
What do you mean? You do it all the time. That's the only thing we've known about you. Is you pretended.
That's the whole point. Is I can't pretend. I have to make myself be Sophie Scott in order for it to work at all. And that's why I can't just do things as Sophie Scott. I can't just kill you or anything like that because she has to be a human being.
I mean, I get it. You're not lying because you just told us, hey, stop fighting and let me kill you. That's your pitch, right?
It's entirely possible that when your universe is torn apart, there will be remnants left that you could survive it.
I mean, essentially, that's what it sounds like to me, Gus.
Yeah, but that's idiotic. Maybe you won't die, but let me shoot you with a laser gun. That's what she's telling us.
You immediately went to laser gun, and that makes me wonder, do you have a laser gun? Did you make one?
I'm just thinking about space, Atticus. What does a space monster have?
They're not space monsters, they're from a different dimension. It's different.
But like also the Death Star destroys in any way. Weird being that is posing as Sophie Scott. What is your name? What do you go by?
There is a symbol that you have seen that is the best way that I have of translating my name.
Understandable.
What do the founding families have to do with this? Also, are they all fish people in disguise?
As far as I know, they are all some sort of fish people.
What the fuck is going on?
What is that? Who are these fish?
I don't know where they came from. When I got here, they were already here set up with their plan. In fact, I think they summoned me. What are they? They are some sort of creature that worships the beings that are outside and wants to interface with them by bringing them here.
And you're going to help them.
I am going to help them. I am helping them.
Because they're tools.
Yes.
Are there any other interested parties besides you and the fairies and the fish people?
Just you.
Olive just sits back and shakes her head.
Yeah, Atticus is like self-stimming because he's about to have a panic attack.
What are the parasites feeding on?
Yeah, you don't have a name for it exactly. I think the closest term, joie de vivre, would that work? It's the force that makes people more than just automatons.
Oh, like dust from his Dark Material series.
Oh, the thing that you lose when you become an adult? No, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
well, you don't lose, but yeah. The
No, it stops attaching to you.
yeah, like consciousness becoming conscious of itself.
Hey, remember when I said this is like the movies, and you guys were all like, "Shut up! It's not like the movies. Shut up, Atticus! It's not like the movies." I'm just mad now.
Literally everything is like the movies because the movies come from this. Our lives.
I know, that's what I said, and everybody was like, "Shut
Everything
up!"
is like the movies. Saying things are like movies is just like saying, hey, look, there's dirt outside.
That's not true. That's so dumb. That's the dumbest. It's not even a simile or a metaphor because they're not the same.
No, it is a simile because they use
No.
like.
You know engineering, but you don't even know the English language, so just stop.
I didn't understand that, but I will stop.
Okay, are we gonna? Can you fucking go away for a few minutes?
I am so happy to waste her time. Like,
Right.
I'm down.
Whoa, yeah, don't leave.
I don't think that there's anything you could tell me that would change my opinion. And I don't think that further discussion is necessary.
And Captain Anachronism is just starting to pull out weapons.
Oh, no. Hey, y'all. Whoa, stop. She said that in Sophie Scott form, she couldn't kill us. She's not in Sophie Scott form right now. The thing is, if one party is immovable, it doesn't mean the other one won't budge. She has come here to talk to us. That means there is some sort of doubt.
No, yeah, there's doubt that she will be able to kill us and stop her from destroying our universe. That's what the doubt
At
is.
what there's doubt. You don't 100% believe in the fish people's plan, do you?
What do you mean, believe in it?
I'm so sorry. I'm talking to that thing.
Oh,
No, by itself, I think it wouldn't have worked.
Now being here with us, have your opinions of this universe changed?
Look, I like you all. You're almost like people to me, but it's not going to change the fact that my universe is going to be destroyed. I can't stop myself just because I happen to like you guys.
It's because you cannot imagine yet. You can't make things up. You can't do what we do. If our universe is consciousness and the power that fuels it is this joy of life, right? What I am seeing is a being that cannot do what we do, that cannot make these movies, that cannot dream like we dream. We are not ourselves. I mean, I am, but everyone else is. If the outside, meaning you're the only experience, and those fairies who have attached to us, cannot build their own universes in their heads, there is a reason why they are not growing like we are. Look, you are looking at this as idiotic as you can. You are inside. You are experiencing what we experience every single day. Do you not understand that we are expanding consciously? all the time. If you destroy us and you leave a little bit of that part remaining, you will have the same problem over and over and over again in perpetuity. The parasites, as you call them, they're not. They are so much smarter than you. I bet you they realized that a long time ago. Why do you think we have stories of fairies being this thing that inspires joy and creativity? It's because when we look upon them and we feel those things, it feeds them. So instead of trying to destroy us, try to inspire us, and maybe you can join us.
Are other universes also made out of consciousness? Or just this one?
They're all made out of something like that.
What is your universe?
What do you want me to tell you about it? It's my home. It's where my people have lived. We can do things that I can't even explain to you, that you wouldn't understand if I told you.
Tell me the thing that you miss most while you're not there.
I miss my mates.
Okay. So Freya stands up and looks at the rest of the group and says, okay, so not to play devil's advocate or anything, but the way that they're explaining it, it sure does sound like we're doing empire building over here and killing off a bunch of other civilizations just for our own growth. And, maybe that's not actually a good thing.
It sounds more like it is possible to coexist.
Okay, it's possible to coexist with Rome. That doesn't mean that most people fucking do. Rome eats and destroys.
You're right. We do eat and destroy, but we don't know.
We're also hearing it from this person. From this one person who is literally an emissary of an extra-dimensional being who is intent on destruction of our universe. That is the source of that information.
Okay.
They're a victim.
They are saying they're a victim. We don't have no idea. We have no way to verify the truth of this.
They sure seem to not understand how to lie.
And you just take them at their word.
I mean, all I'm saying is that what are your pronouns?
You can use she. I'll be Sophie for that.
Okay. She seems to be at least vaguely being honest. She gave us a whole PowerPoint presentation. I'm not saying we should just trust her. I am saying we should consider it. We should not just throw it out immediately.
I do take issue with one thing, though. You said that we can't understand things that we can't fathom. I understand what these blobs on a screen mean. Why do you think I can't understand where you come from?
Try explaining to a drawing what going through a door means, and you'll get nothing, because their concept of the door is just a drawing of a door, and that's all they have context for. You don't have the context for me to even use language to explain the things that are different about where I come from. It's not a failing.
I don't think you know that. I can explain to a drawing what a door is.
I agree with Chris. I don't think I need to hear any more from you. I'm sorry for what's happening to your world. But I think that this is something I would like to talk about with my fellow soldiers.
Hey, could you do something for us?
Possibly.
Can you get the fairies here? Is that something you can do?
No, but it's something you can do. Well, not you, but the others.
Did his fairy die?
Yeah, fish person killed it.
Dustin killed it, didn't it?
Yeah, he's a fish person.
No, he's a person with extra ability, I thought. I thought the tentacles touched Dustin.
The tentacles swap the people out.
That is what happened. Okay. That theory. Okay.
Yeah. He was Dustin, he's not anymore.
That's what I thought. Okay. That's why, yeah.
To be clear, your friend is still your friend, just a different version of your friend. He's not a deep one.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, Woody. He's not my friend. A different version of my friend is not my friend. If I make a copy of something, that thing is not the thing.
I see. I understand what you're saying.
I mean, like, that is a prime example of you not thinking, right? Like, if we are consciousness, then even if an exact copy of us is not us, because it is a different... Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna ruminate.
Okay, yeah. We need to conference, potentially with the fairies. Oh God, I wish you still knew magic.
To add on top of what Gus was saying, with that fact in mind, let's let you simmer on this. Copying something does not mean that it's the original thing. Therefore, you copying Sophie Scott to be Sophie Scott doesn't mean you are Sophie Scott. It means you're somebody playing Sophie Scott, taking that in your own hands.
I have one last, real quick, but I need to ask a above the table question first. The people in the picture were Sophie Scott, Raw Dog,
Calvin, the principal, and a guy named John who died in Chicago.
Okay. Did John really die in Chicago?
Yes.
Is Raw Dog safe?
Safe? I don't know how to answer that. Safe from what?
From you.
No.
He's not safe.
No, if I need to use him, I will.
Speaking of time, I'm not sure if time is like a concept to you at all. Possibly. Who knows? How long in our ideology of it have you been here? Have you been here since the taking of that photo?
Before that, I think my memory here is fuzzy at the beginning. I was still learning to be here, but I think I've been here around 50 years.
Wait. Sophie Scott was not a person originally.
No.
You came here and created something, and now that thing exists in our world and we can touch it and interact with us, and you can live here.
Yeah.
Why not do that?
Because so much of me is wrapped up into tiny, tiny pieces.
But you're learning.
Of course I'm learning.
And do you feel like the same way you felt when you came here the first time? Do you feel as tightly wound up into those tiny pieces?
More. It's worse. It gets worse.
That doesn't make any sense.
There is no sense. We don't have a sense.
It is all
of this.
sense.
No,
It's
it's
all
not.
sense. We just don't have all the information. Yes, it is. Everything is sense.
No, that doesn't. No, your term of sense is based on Earth. This is beyond the scope of your understanding, and you want to fit it in a box that you can understand, and you can't fucking understand it, Gus. Just like you didn't understand the fucking grinder,
I know. I'm trying to understand.
and you're
it.
trying to fit it in, and it's not going to fit.
Exactly. Maybe it will.
This being isn't. This is the whole thing. This being has been trying to fit into a role and into a body that they are never meant to be. They're never going to fit.
Why never? Because if it's never, then we die. If it's never, then everyone dies.
Yeah, that's the problem, Gus. This creature has had to live bound into a shape and a place that they were never meant to be in, because their world is being, according to them, is being overtaken by our world. It's all shit.
What would happen if you unbound yourself?
It's not possible. The dimensions in your world are so tiny, except for the four that you're used to.
They have different laws of physics, Gus. Science is different. The world is just fundamentally different.
It's metaphysical, right? If we are consciousness, that means we create this. It's like, have you ever seen Naruto?
I have.
The idea that Gus has seen Naruto is incredibly hilarious to me.
The craziest part of this whole episode.
Right? What a twist.
It is probably the most accessible anime.
I don't know about that.
No, I not accessible as like being able to watch it, but like as accessible as like there's a lot of like iconography and symbols like of Naruto out in the world that would have sparked interest. I'm speaking from personal experience.
He's not wrong.
Because I don't watch anime, and that's the only one I've seen.
Oh my god.
Have you seen Naruto?
Yeah, of course I have.
Okay, I'm sorry. I wasn't there with you when you watched it. You know he has that one like power, right? Where he like shadow clones.
Sure.
Okay, then and hey guys, spoilers if you haven't seen Naruto. It's pretty good, you should watch it. But when he's with like that old frogman, right? And he's trying to learn that like one wind ball thing, he makes himself other shadow clones, and they go out and they learn and they come back. That's the universe.
Hey, okay, that's a great example. That's also a fucking anime.
It's all speculation. We have what she said. At the very least, what we know from what she's said and confirmed by what we've been able to put together with the grinder and with Brennan from other sources. The only things that we can confirm that she said is that they are trying to destroy our universe. That's it. That's what we know. Anything else is a guess. Anything else is speculation. And what hangs in the fucking balance is potentially 7 billion lives that we know of for sure.
Okay. How do we summon the fairies?
You could do just about anything with the purpose of summoning the fairies in this dream, and it will work.
Can I do a will to will my fairy out of me?
You sure can.
That sounded like a metaphor for coming out of the closet.
This is 100% a trap
This is such a bad idea.
to lure the fairies here.
I know,
Calling
but
it now.
sometimes you have to let the trap pop.
Sometimes you have to fall into a trap, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, this is triggering for Olive, and I need you to respect that. Fall into a trap.
And almost dying.
Wait,
yeah,
what?
thank you.
Okay, sorry. I got a great for my will.
With a great will roll, you concentrate and just sort of push with your will, and you feel a stretching, and in front of you, as though popping up from your shadow, slowly condenses into vision, one of the creatures. And as that happens, you form yourself back into Atticus, and it looks at you with its alien eyes and looks curious.
What the fuck is going on? I know you heard everything I heard.
what's going on is that we have recruited you to save your world and ours.
Are we an ever-growing cancer to the multiverse?
That's an awfully long pause.
Well, I think that the lack of adaptation by the multiverse is
Okay, this definitely sounds like we're saying yes, imperialism is okay. It's their fault for not joining us.
we joined you, and we couldn't be happier.
I was going to say, it sounds a lot closer to Darwinism. This is a naturalistic. There's imperialism has intention.
Yeah, we definitely have no control on the matter up until just now. With 5 high school kids.
Are you saying that we have any control in this matter? What control do you imagine that we have?
We don't. You're right. I'm sorry. Slip of the tongue.
Sophie,
Yes?
do you think that there could be any way to halt or slow down the growth outside of destruction?
If there is one, our scientists, I guess is the closest word, have not found it.
How have I'm talking to my fairy.
Yeah.
Not my boyfriend, my fairy.
Right.
How
Guts, don't talk.
Guys, shut up. I'm talking to the fairy, not you. How did your world adapt?
Well, when we encountered your beautiful world, we impacted it, and it wasn't our doing, it just blended. We were compatible enough to blend and adapt to what we lost in our individuality became our new joy, where we are able to live with you and be part of your legends and part of your youthful experiences.
Who are the fish people? Who are the ones that they're the deep ones, the whatevers? Who are they trying to bring through?
We don't know where they came from either, but they want to bring their gods to here, and their gods are the ones that live outside of the worlds, and whatever that does is not going to be good for you.
Do these gods live in the in-between spaces, or do they live in a different...
Yes, they live in the in-between.
If they were to come into our world,
Madness.
and well, he says this he looks at Sophie and the fairy.
Mm.
How much more destruction would our world be able to wreak on, to be able to wreck on the multiverses?
Entered your world?
Well, that's the idea. They would rip it up, right? So they would become the superpower. I'm assuming that the consciousness and the energy, as far as I can understand the laws and the way that you're sapping ours from humans, that still maintains the same. The energy that this universe has absorbed and produced and continues to grow would not go nowhere. It would probably be divested back into those gods, the ones that consumed this universe and shredded it up.
Hopefully satiate them.
It wouldn't. I don't even know anything about these things, and I know that. People who want power want it forever, unendingly. So they're going to destroy us, and then they're going to just come after you. And all the other little universes that are out there until there's nothing. That's the point.
Sophie says, that is a danger that I have been assured is something that we can handle, whereas your universe is not a danger we can handle.
Oh, did the fucking leopards tell you they wouldn't eat your face? Is that what happened? It's a political analogy, the leopard face eating party. It's a common trope to use when people of oppressed classes join their oppressors thinking that they will get special treatment, and then they don't. Think like women in the modern Republican Party.
Love it. Love it.
Is that what I sound like?
Yeah.
Okay.
I stand by my original statement. This has changed my opinion. Not at all. I don't understand what more information we need or could get that is anything more important than if we don't act, we die. I don't want to die.
Can I suck my fairy back in? Again, talking about my extra dimensional being.
Yes, you can do that, no problem.
No. Ah.
Super.
It squeaks.
As Atticus turns back into Captain Anarchism, he pulls a gun and shoots Sophie Scott.
Can I jump in front of it?
Sure.
I got a great for a shoot.
I guess it would be an athletics to get in front of that.
Oh, yes, of course. I'm really good at athletics. That's a mediocre.
Yeah, you don't get it in front of the bullet. That was a... Sorry, you said a great?
Yes.
Okay. You shoot her in the head. Her head explodes. She falls back.
That's a choice.
Oh, I hope she's not mad. I think there's a lot to what Freya is saying, everyone.
Thank you, Gus.
And frankly, I don't care. If I was in Rome and my options were to die or to help Rome expand, I'm helping Rome expand. It's simple. You don't need to make it this complicated.
Maybe you're a bad person.
Maybe you can go fuck yourself, Freya.
The closer analogy is not Rome, it's humans. When humans moved from continent to continent, there's mass extinction of other species. And is it more or less moral to help your fellow humans survive in a new continent if that means predators die? Because these are predators. These are not prey. They came into our world, have actively killed innocents repeatedly over decades.
We've destroyed universes.
And they're trying to do the same.
They're trying to do the same in response. It is
Yeah.
like backing it's like backing a cat into a corner.
According to what Sophie Scott, a known murderer and manipulator, has said.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly what?
If she's a known murderer and manipulator, she didn't manipulate anyone. Or she tried, but she was terrible at it.
He literally manipulated Brennan into committing murder. She was the voice he needed to kill incidents.
Brennan was looking for any excuse to do that.
And then what did she do? She manipulated him into doing it. There is culpability and responsibility in her fucking actions.
But to try to do something and to be good at something are two different things, and she was not good at it. Listen to Freya.
Yeah, the trying is worse. Trying to kill someone is worse than actually killing someone on accident.
When we know we are doing something and choose to do it anyway, we are the bad guys.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I'm not doing shit except existing. Are you out there pushing the boundaries of our universe? Gus?
I tried.
Guys, there is no good answer. There is no answer where anybody's the good guy. There is no answer where we are not bad. Because guess what? We have two options. We have an option to fight, and we have an option to sit back. Either way, it's like Atticus said. Billions of people, if we sit back and do nothing, billions of people die. Our universe is gone. If we fight, then growth continues and other universes are I understand what you're saying, Freya, but I'm with Chris. I have to worry about my friends and the existence of my world. And we are not the bad guys because we are put into an impossible situation. And if you want to moralize and fucking talk in theoretics and just what a fucking place of privilege you are talking from right now. I'm so happy that you get to be on the moral high ground or feel like you are. But right now, we're all gonna fucking die. Except for you, apparently. So I'm sorry that you feel like the bad guy. I'm sorry that this is difficult. I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm not gonna sit back and let my world, get destroyed by a giant fucking in-between monster.
To add to, if I can, the topic of Rome, since that's something that we love bringing up right now. Are we Rome? Or do we want to be Nero, watching as Rome burns?
If the problem is consciousness and an ever-expanding consciousness, then who do we offer up first?
Exactly.
Is it Molly? Is it Clark's sister? Gus? What about Nikki? You willing to offer her up? You want to put her on the line? See what the fish people have to say? See if that helps the situation? Because at the end of it, we're all upon.
Wait, what is with Clark's sister? What role does she have to play?
Apparently, she's a part of the Six. Connected to this world. You said connected to the world-eating bullshit in this other multiverse?
No, Sophie said she has extra, like consciousness. We don't have a word for it.
Oh.
She's like a super
She's got
beacon.
ESP.
Well, she's like a super beacon though that calls the others because she's got so much potential or whatever. Sarah, was that right? Did I recall that mostly correctly?
Yeah, sounded right.
Okay. No, it's right. I got really confused too because there was too many there was the Six people who body swapped, us changelings, and I was the whole time sad and scared.
Yeah, no, same.
Hey, I want to say, I'm not coming from this from a one thing or another type of stance. I don't not think we should fight, and I don't not think we shouldn't kill everything else. All I'm trying to say is this is a lot of new information, and the more information we can get, the more of a plan we can make. I don't know, and honestly, that thing doesn't know if this universe that we have will, support other things if we try hard enough. Whatever the fairies tapped into allowed me to change the fabric, change the dimensions of our universe. So I know that there are other options.
I agree. I think right now we kill the fucking fish people and anybody trying to tear holes in the fabric of the multiverse first, and then we find.
Oh yeah, they gotta die. Yeah, they're terrible.
We have to stop. we have to buy ourselves. God, like we're gonna fucking figure this out. We have to buy all of the multiverse time.
I'm fucking 17. What
yeah.
are we doing?
Exactly.
We need to figure out how to stop the expansion.
No, we don't have to figure out how to stop the expansion right now. We need to stop those assholes from coming through and breaking everything up, so there's no time. Right now, let's fucking worry about right now.
I agree.
And from what it sounds like, we have less than a week. We have a deadline.
I think our plan definitely needs to be moving forward in dealing with these fish people. But right now, we have an opportunity to learn about everything farther in advance, plan further. We might not get this opportunity again. So, in addition to making this plan in this dream space where I don't know if time even matters, like we'll wake up the next day and we were going to sleep anyway. So why not take advantage of this? If we can learn about everything, or as much as we can, or gain an ally, and I point to Sophie, in fighting these fish people, or at least delaying the destruction of our universe, why not do that?
She repeatedly said she was working with the fish people and had no interest in the universe surviving and wants to bring across the gods.
I agree, but I have seen people's minds change.
And I've seen people die at the hands of domestic abusers that they said would change. So
She's not people.
Hey, Sophie, are you still vaguely alive after getting your head blown off?
No response.
Why'd you have to shoot her?
I think she's just sitting and watching.
I'm gonna go check the body.
But here's the thing. Yeah, she did a bunch of bad things that are unforgivable, but she's also a way powerful super monster thing that could help us kill a bunch of fish people.
Yeah, that would be great if we can convince her.
I know, and I think we should try, because we can't kill her.
And to convince her, we need to set up a plan to reverse or halt the expansion.
Okay, Freya, shut the fuck up. I appreciate
How else
you.
are we going to get her on our
listen,
side?
We can't right now. All we can do is convince her that we need time to do that. That they're between them and their whatever it is, the scientist, the thing that she didn't, the word that we aren't going to understand, and our obviously amazing expanding consciousness between the two of us teaming up. Maybe then we can figure it out. But right now we have a week before we no longer have time. So I appreciate where you're coming from, but that is 8 steps ahead of us right now.
No, but hey, look, I absolutely love this side of you. You are definitely
No,
our
guys,
leader.
everyone
I'm
talks
sorry.
to me like I'm the fucking leader, and then I get shit on because I'm Olive's the leader, but she's so fucking sweet. Yeah, guess what? I'm tired, and I am not gonna survive this. So I am tired of being shit on by every single one of you because I'm a great punching bag. So, okay, let's just worry about getting through and buying time. And I agree, if we can convince this creature to be on our side, great. I don't think that's gonna happen right now because Atticus shot her in the head, okay? So let's figure it out. Let's figure out that part of it, and then figure out how to take on something that a bunch of fucking teenagers shouldn't have to deal with. How about that?
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Are you mad about being the punching bag, or about us asking to help, or asking Sophie to help?
No, I love that we want to have Sophie to help. I'm tired of being... I am just so fucking tired. And I'm tired of all this infighting about bullshit that doesn't even matter. We complain about... whatever.
Hey, I love you.
She bursts into tears at that because no one has said it to her ever.
I love all of you, and you're my best friends. And it would be really sad to see you all die. So I want to do everything I can to help you not do that. Can we agree at least to do that? To help each other not die?
Yes.
We also agreed a couple of days ago that we make group decisions. Freya, Gus, four of us said there's no bridge to make here. Gus and Freya, you're in the minority. If you do not want, that's it. You're not going to convince us. We can sit here and moralize. We are interested in the survival of ourselves and the people we love and care about, which include you. And then we can figure out. We do not believe that there is time or ability to work on parallel tracks, being 17 years old and having potentially a week until an other world of a fucking monster between the spaces comes. And I fucking can't sit here anymore and talk about that like it's not a reality. I can't sit here and beg someone who's murdered people in cold blood and talks about human lives like they're almost people and think that we can convince them to not murder us.
Yeah, I think I get the point of that, but hey, I don't think even after we stop this we're going to be done with this. And I agree, we need to move forward, but that kind of thinking is dangerous.
What kind of thinking?
We are going to go up against beings who don't understand our morals, who don't understand that when they take a life, it may not come back, or that it does it means so much. The only way, and they may do that before we can tell them. So to look at this through that viewpoint is dangerous.
You know how I know that's not true? Because supposedly Sophie's here on behalf of the self-existence and the importance of life in her dimension. It does not matter here. Ours does not matter.
We don't know.
We do know. She told us.
She's more than happy to kill us to save her people. She's made that blatantly clear.
She understands the sanctity of life.
She just doesn't give a shit about ours.
You're dangerous. Your thought process is extremely dangerous. Let us go up to the lion with an open mouth and put our hands in and say, please make a deal with us. You're right. She's an emissary of these monsters and things that we don't understand. And you think that however long a concept of time, at least over 70 years she's been here, she's a fucking missionary. She's a proselyte. She is someone who is left her entire reality to come for the possibility of survival in the hopes that, and is living in an existence that she says is tearing her apart. And you think that we have, in the next 5 days or 7 days, we can convince her, hey, all that thing that you've done, all the work you've done, all that stuff, not cool, dude. Let's work together to beat your bosses.
I don't want to fight about this. I feel like this is becoming more than just a discussion of what to do, but I want to be on your side, Atticus. But you're so short-sighted. Your perspective is wrong.
Well, I hope I get to live long enough for my vision to get longer. But it's going to be longer than 7 days if I can fucking do anything about it.
Okay. You know where I stand, Atticus. What I don't necessarily agree with is that these fucking fish people are her boss.
No, not the fish people, the gods, the things ripping through.
But no, the gods aren't her boss. That's the gods have
She
nothing
said
to
they're
do with
working
her.
towards. Yeah, no, they do. She said they are working towards the same goal of bringing them in to.
Yeah,
rip-
no. She's an opportunist. Her world is an opportunist. These
Yeah.
gods want to rip everything apart, and she's like, great, a bigger bully is coming to take out this big thing. What she and all of her world, and maybe a bunch of other worlds that we're taking over, maybe they're also like, oh cool, all we see is that this big ass bully is getting taken down, without thinking about the fact that what we know, what we believe, and what we've seen in our fucked up world is that it just means that the bully killer will become the bully and will destroy everything. So all we have to do is convince her. Their scientists have already said, hey, they're safe from this. All we have to do is put just a tiny fucking seed of doubt about that fact.
I think that's if we take what she's saying at face value, and I am not against that. So at the very least, we need to kill the fish people to fucking
Yes.
stop. That's all I'm saying is moving forward, we need to fucking kill the fish people. And I think until they're gone, and until the imminent threat of Lantern Cove becoming a portal to other dimensions for eldritch gods, sure, I agree. Let's try. I am telling you, I'm not gonna. If somebody, Olive, think of it in anime terms.
That's the only way I know things.
If there was a character who comes along and all of a sudden bad things start happening, people start dying, and you're working, and your protagonist is buddies with this character, and this character secretly is carrying out the murders and is secretly plotting the destruction, and then when confronted says, oh no, actually I'm just trying to survive. I don't believe it. I have zero belief in what this extra dimensional being is saying is true. And I think that all we know for a fact is what we can confirm with other ways, which is that she's trying to destroy the universe. So at the very least, we can figure that out later. But let's go fucking fish hunting. I got more gilmans to kill.
That's at least something that we can all agree on, is that fuck fish people, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Let's start there.
Also, they're all rich, so I definitely feel like it's even better.
We're gonna kill the fish people, and Gus, I will tell you right now, I will do everything I can to help you to try and convince Sophie Scott to get her people on board, because if we can get other help from this multiverse, great. But I need you to be ready for the fact when that doesn't happen, because this is a belief system. This is obviously, listen to her talk. That's a deeply ingrained belief that we only have 7 days, 5 days, however long, to change. That's a whole... Minds don't change that fast.
You're right. Olive, I will defend myself, but I need a reason to defend myself.
I think we have a reason to defend ourselves from crazy space gods that want to destroy everything for no reason.
They have a reason, and that's
Not
why...
the space... I mean, the space gods, I think their reason is chaos.
Maybe it should be the responsibility of the beings that can see these multiverses and travel between them to fix it, and not us, who don't even know they exist outside of 6 17-year-olds.
Yeah, but it's not, dude. Sorry.
Can Chris, will himself awake?
You can try that, yeah.
Yeah. Will sucks.
You can use Chris's will. If you get a grade or above, you can wake up.
Okay. I've only got a fair, so I've got to get a +2 on this. Nope. Just a fair. Chris, like, Ping just starts slapping himself in the face, like trying to wake up.
Hey, this ain't a problem you can run away from.
What I could run away from is this pointless conversation, because my decision's already made.
Ouch.
I agree with Chris. I would like to wake myself up.
All right, as you are starting to try to wake yourself up, you all begin to chill and fade. The scene around you begins to blur, and you can feel the dream losing its hold on you all. As it all fades, you hear Sophie's voice, and she says, "Despite everything, I hope that you'll take what I've said to heart, but now I think you'd better all wake up. Some of you are in a dangerous place after all." And indeed, for those of you who made the choice to fall asleep at the army bunker, as you wake up, you can see eyes staring at you from the tree line. The coyotes have found you. And this concludes Chapter 2, Cognizant of Many Things. Chapter 3, Deep into the Darkness Peering, begins next session. It will last for a week in game time, at which point, if our heroes do not stop it, the world will end. So be thinking about what you want to do, maybe make plans together, and above all, have fun. Thank you all for joining us.
I'm having so much fun.
I cried.
It's
I
the
cried.
end
of the
world.
Same.
And that's all we got.